There's a timing to everything. There's a timing to circadian rhythms, a timing to seasonal rhythms. There's a timing to movements and consciousness. Now, this may not be obvious at all times, or it may not be obvious at all, but as we open to the unbound, as we open to that which is not touched by concepts, by thought, by expectations, judgments, we become more aware of this. We become more aware of a natural flow, or perhaps a natural cadence. This means we trust our instincts when our instincts arise from the sense fields directly, rather than from thought, from fear, from misunderstanding, from delusion. So we attune more and more to this instinct about when to speak, when not to speak, how to move, when to sit still. And the more we attune to this, the more we synchronize with it naturally, the more everything starts to open up. It's like portals opening up. Portals that break open the paradigm of time, that dissolve the paradigm of separation and space and distance and form. We find these all over the place. They're hidden in plain sight, these portals, or moments of catalytic energetic activity. We overlook them all the time when we're hypnotized by thoughts, concepts, beliefs, stereotyped ways of being in the mind, being in the inner world. We overlook them, but they're here. The more we break out of that, or disentangle our attention from the mind, from that hypnotic, socially conditioned space of delusion, of separation, of avoidance, the more we recognize this natural synchronicity, this natural timing, and the more we open to it, or it opens us, or it opens life. This may sound metaphysical or mystical, but it's not at all. It becomes very obvious at some point. And what there is to do here is to maintain an openness, to maintain a vigilance of attention, such that it doesn't get hypnotized by thoughts. It's a sort of relaxed, deeply present vigilance or alertness. And then this synchronicity that I'm talking about reveals itself naturally, simply. It may not be there all the time. Certainly at first, you might recognize it in moments. You might get tastes of it. But with time, it becomes far more obvious, far more intertwined with all of your experience, all of your sensory experience, all of the appearances themselves. By appearances, I mean non-dual appearances. Zero distance experience, sound, sensation, touch, taste, smell, colors, shapes, movement. These become rather intermixed, interpenetrated, and then interpenetrated with this very paradoxical, synchronistic energy field, for lack of a better way of saying it. So the price of admission is giving everything to this process, to the inevitability of unbinding every last aspect of identity, trusting it deeply, trusting whatever comes up just as it is to be completely okay and exactly what needs to come up. This is how we recognize these catalytic moments or these portals by fully embracing every single movement, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, whether it's mundane or apparently spiritual, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what judgments are laid upon it. Doesn't matter what emotion is moving through at the moment. What matters is that there's a deep, deep trust in all of it, the totality of experience at every level, including the deepest level, which does go completely beyond identity, beyond the person, beyond personhood, beyond form, beyond time and space. So as we attune to this, as we acknowledge more and more at a deeper level that this is all really that's happening, it's the only game in town, then this becomes very obvious, becomes prominent, becomes the foreground of all experience. Foreground being a conventional description, because there is no foreground or background here. No inside or outside. No separation, no self or other, no subject or object. But a sort of intuition emerges. And following that intuition, wherever it takes you, moment to moment, inward, outward, through emotion, through sensation, through color, through form, through movement, through stillness, following that intuition becomes very powerful. The unbinding can continue this way, and the unbinding gets subtle, of course. But in the relative sense, there's always something that can be dissolved, that can be seen more clearly, embraced more fully. And this is all we're called to do here. It is a spontaneous process. There's no one in control of it. There's no one apart from anything that could be in control in any way. And yet, we are called to show up, embrace it, be willing to see any areas of avoidance, any areas of distraction, any areas where we're not moving directly from this infinite heart of acceptance, of natural integration, which is already the case. Everything is already integrated, including pain, including discomfort, confusion, sadness, grief, gain, loss, all of it. So this is how that synchronicity is realized, how that timing that is beyond anything the mind can construct. This isn't a timing you're going to understand, but you can feel it at a very deep level. It's not a timing that is going to line up with any metaphysical map you have, any belief system you have. It's not that. It's too direct for that, too immediate. It's right now, right here. But you can realize it. It can be realized, it can be died into more and more and more, again and again and again, ongoing, in your life just as it is, right here and right now.